we'll jump in the Word of God.
Well, first off, I need whoever went to come on up here. So I got 2. So I'm Nate Hines. I was the assistant lay director for this year. I will be the one leading it next year. And the group coming up here is what went from Bible Baptist Marysville. We had members go from New Life, Grove City. We had Bible Baptist Wilmington, Bible Baptist Woodstock. Is there any other churches I'm missing? Well, I mean, I already said us. Oh, and Victory Baptist went this year. Every year I go on this, I always get something out of it, and I've only went on it as a journeyer once. And I've been here, the rest of them I've been as a worker, and even as a worker, just being able to leave there with something different. It's always a blessing and something I can't go without going to Journey. It's became something that I have made as a commitment to go every year, and something that I just can't miss. So I'm going to go ahead and talk a little more at the end, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. Let these guys tell their. Who wants to go first?
If you let me go first, these guys might not get time to talk. First of all, I want to just tell you, I'm nobody trying to tell everybody about somebody. That's done. And I want to thank all the people that gave me a note, and it touched me dearly what they had to say. I want to thank hundreds of people that prayed for us 24/7 for the whole time we were there. What a blessing. That's all I can say. I'm thankful for Jeremy. I'm thankful that my daughter and my son-in-law, my 2 grandchildren, have a good teacher. Not a good teacher. He's a great teacher. If you don't go to the Journey, I don't know. You're missing a blessing that you won't. You're just missing a blessing. Okay, and it helped me out so much, and it's hard to tell y'all what I'm getting ready to tell y'all. Okay. But I've been wallowing in the mud for a long time, okay? And when I say I'm wallowing in the mud, I'm wallowing in the mud from years ago. And I couldn't forgive myself. I'm what they call a wife beater. And there's only 2 things in my head that's worse than a wife beater, and that's a child molester and a murderer. And I just could never forgive myself. And when you confess that you're a wife beater, people look at you a whole lot different, okay? And but I don't have to waller in the mud no more, and I want to thank Toby for that. Toby's father, I shouldn't have said Toby. I'm sorry, Toby. But he shared part of his life with us, and he made me realize that I made a mistake, and I'm a lot more things than just a wife beater. I got missions that my children don't even know about, and all I do is look for missions. I call them mini missions, and missions are available to all of you guys. There's a lot of work that needs to be done in this church, and only so many people do it, and it don't take so much. If you can just take a small part off of somebody's shoulders, it would be such a blessing to them. We had 10, maybe, I don't know exactly how many speakers. I can't pick the best one, okay? But I'll tell you what, Toby cleaned me up, okay? And Toby told me what I needed to hear there. Mr. Hines, Tim Hines, is he here? Oh, okay. Thank you, sir, okay? I just want to say thank you. And I'm not a member. I come on Wednesdays afternoons, and the pews ain't near as full as they are right now, okay? So, but anyways, if there's 2, that's all it takes for Jesus to be present, okay? Thank you all.
It's been my privilege to go every year, and my wife is getting a petition around now that if the kids can go for 5 days, why can't you guys go for 5 days? So, and, hey, we need it. Believe me, I need it for sure. But a lot of good preaching, a lot of good talks, good fellowship. God shows up, and I've been saved for 41 years, and I got a long ways to go. I think, man, I should be a lot farther along than I am right now, but I'm not a quitter. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep on plugging along. And Brother Rick Beckley and Kara Beckley and Terry Travis was very instrumental in getting this off the ground, so we appreciate them and all the hard work they did. A lot of good preaching we had over the weekend, but I think the best preaching was from this young man right over here, Noah Hines. God that preached to us yesterday, Jesus is coming back. And I tell you, ain't that right, Brother Noah? He's coming back. That's right. And I tell you, it always thrills our heart when Noah preaches. And if you haven't heard him preach, you'll. I think PT might have videoed it maybe, but appreciate these guys and the fellowship and the testimony for these guys. And we're not perfect by any chance, but we do serve a perfect Savior, and we're just going to keep plugging along and pray for Brother Nate as he's got a heart for this and I know that he's going to work real hard this year. So pray for him, pray for us, and like I said, I'll hand it over to Jacob now.
As he said, I'm Jacob. I went this year because I'm too old to go to camp, and yeah, I mean, I shave and I'll look it, you know what I'm saying? So, but I really went this year because I knew I needed what I got as a teenager, and that was that time away from the world. And it was really good to go there. And at the Journey with Jesus, they actually took our phones away from us. And at first, I was like, my wife's gonna kill me. So I gave her a quick call and broke the news to her and handed it away. So I didn't hear from her until Saturday. So, so yeah, but it was good. It was really good to not have that distraction, because more than just talking to people, you can have games and stuff on your phone. But it was really nice to just be set apart from that and just to be able to be with God. And it was just a great experience. So I encourage you to go next year. So.
Hi, I'm Bryce. When he said about going for a whole 5 days, I'm not sure I could go 5 days without any sleep because the amount of men that snore is insane. I know that Daniel had peace in the lion's den, but I'm sure he couldn't sleep with all the growling, which is exactly what we went through because, and some people, they don't even sound human when they're asleep. I don't know what it is. It's too much, honestly. No, but it was a really good time. I had a different perspective going into it. This was my first year, and usually your first year you go as strictly a journeyer. But Toby asked me to give a talk first, and so I kind of had the mindset of going as someone who had stuff to give to the journeyers, and I didn't really expect to receive anything. But when you get your phone taken away from you and you have to be silent for the first night, yeah, that's one thing they do also. After the last talk of the night, they say no more talking until we're done with the first message in the morning, which was difficult. And also, you find out that things are a lot funnier when you're not allowed to talk, especially when guys are passing gas in the cabin. And you know how guys are. It's a gut wrencher when you're not allowed to say anything, and you're just it's a good time. But no, I got a lot out of the messages. Being from the perspective of someone who's given a talk, I know what it's like to try to get up in front of some of your peers and talk, and so you kind of get a little bit of people's testimony through the way they speak, not even necessarily if they give their testimony. You can just kind of hear some of the things they're saying and kind of connect with them and find some common ground with your upbringing. Like Frank said, Toby gave some of his testimony, and I didn't realize he grew up sort of similar to the way I did. So it's kind of cool to get an idea of who people really are and where they came from. So that was kind of what I got out of this weekend. And a lot of good talks. If you're thinking about going, don't think about it. Just decide that you're going to. And if you don't want to, just do it because it is a really good time. So that's all I got. Thank you.
My name is Lee. It was my first time, and I'm sure glad I did go. I would like to thank the church for those who prayed, for Pastor, for investing time and resources to the men of the church. And yeah, I've been saved for 47 years, but still, there's so much I have to learn. And just encourage you to go next year.
Hello, I'm Dwight, and I was not the oldest one there this year. Ralph came, thankfully. But Brian, I think you need to come on up here. And anyhow, there was a lot of preparation for this, and like you have weeks that people come and do the things and practice. And so I was here when Brother Tim gave his prep talk, and when he got up, I thought, well, I know what he's going to say. And I was just so humbled at his testimony, and it was such a good thing to just hear a man pour his heart out, and it was so very good. And then I got to hear Noah preach about God is coming back on a cloud to Ohio. So.
I think, first of all, what I want to thank is Rick Beckley. Rick tried several years to get me to go to Journey with Jesus. And like a lot of people probably in this room, there's a reason why we can't. One year it was work, one year it was something, I'm not sure. But you know, God has a way of removing all them obstacles. Amen. And the year that I retired, I go, you know, I don't have any excuse this year. Which was last year, and that was my first year. It was a wonderful experience, just to get away and think, clear your mind. I just can't describe that. And then you're amongst a group of people that has went through the same things that you have. They all have the same challenges in life, basically. And we can come together as a unit and just talk about them things. This year was a little bit different for me because Toby asked me to give a talk on faith. And I know standing here you think that I don't have any trouble standing in front of people and talking, but I'll tell you, I do. Because my stomach is turning flip-flops right now. And I'm always afraid I'm going to say something wrong. But he must have heard some of my testimony or something, but he had faith in me to do a talk on faith. One thing I learned that if you think you know your subject well, no, you learn a lot about faith by just preparing to talk about faith. Amen. Okay? Some of the things is you learn that your faith might not be as strong as you think it is. So I appreciated that opportunity, and I hope the message got out, because I know it wasn't me talking. It just come through me. I stood up here and I just moved my lips, and that's what happened. So I just appreciate the opportunity. It is a wonderful experience. Yeah, everybody's doing the sales pitch, but I'm going to join in. It's better than probably a vacation that you'll take to Disney World. Quite a bit cheaper. But I'll guarantee you'll come home feeling a lot better than you would anywhere else in the world. I guess. Noah, do you want to say something? You want me to speak for you? All right, okay.
Good morning, buddy. I'm Noah Hunt. I'm Jimmy Jesus. And I miss Mary Jo. I miss him. And I miss both her. And I went we have 8 to 12 down Homerton, and what does I didn't say? Mary say Mary Jo say well, I'm born away. No, didn't say damn sober. I worked on Bossy in the UCO Bossy. I love I did Bossy 2 boss on the 2 Trump. I went service on priest Monday, Tuesday service night, and what story about? Just say, no Jesus. They come in the trials. God, they send me. I'm not there by my nose or my ears, and by today me doubt. I went down 12 to Ohio and 10 tall trees, and I went visit Trace Captain and the 8 to 12 Homerton, and never about to West out over here. Oh, wait a minute, please. Okay, next story. One day, one bone, and God, the man doing Jesus, my son, would say, Jesus on the cross, that walked on me day. And the Bible say, God to love the world, David always died his son. That do ever in him, do not perish, they everlasting life.
All righty. It's hard to go after that one. The first talk that was given this week was done on priorities, which is the talk that I gave. So with that being said, what I learned from that was that with priorities and what you make a priority is not only going to affect you, but it's going to affect the people around you. So what I'm going to ask is, what do you hold as a priority? Amen. What's going to keep you from coming to Journey next year? Because whatever it is, you're holding over God. I've heard so many excuses of, well, I can't give up my phone. Really? You'd get a lot further along if you just broke the thing. I've heard, I can't get away from work. All the 6 weeks of vacation, you can't give up 2 days. I've talked to Honda associates every day, and that's what they keep telling me. Or, well, I just can't do it because of this or that, or I got to fix my car. Okay, we got a bus. I'll pick you up. There's an answer to every single excuse. So my challenge to you is, if you've already been the Journey and you haven't been lately, I need you for next year. I need you to come back. If you haven't been the Journey, I still need you, because my goal is to get this to continue to grow, and it needs to grow. If there's any doubts or any questions, you say, well, I got this going on, I just don't know how I'm going to do it, come see one of us. We will help you. We'll figure out something. If anything, least we can do is pray for you. And with that, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to pass it on to Jeremy, and we'll continue singing.
Sing a song.
Thank you. I'll do a quick commercial too. If you haven't been, you've missed something that none of us can really explain. If you have been, come back. Don't forget what you got from that. There's an opportunity that you get when you just tune out the rest of the world. Giving up my phone wasn't really a challenge to me. The hardest part of it was I wasn't able to talk to my wife for a couple days. But, it was just such a blessing to hear other people talk about what they go through in life. We get this idea that we see all these people dressed up and we think, well, their lives are perfect. Nobody's life is perfect. One of the testimonies I get, it's just